Good morning, everyone. So thanks for the short notice, Dan and friends. We'll probably do one more before we go live with Epic, um, just to make sure we're communicating everything. As a lot of big events, when you get closer, things get a little more frantic. You start doing some last minute things, and you also are going, "Oh, we missed that. We need to do this, and we need to do this." So there are a lot of last minute things, and this is a good forum when we need to get a lot out to everyone. So we're really going to cover three main things today related to mostly training, and then also kind of what to expect when you actually first get on the system. So for those of you, I think all of this it will be relevant to most people in the organization. So if you could share or remind people to watch it. Hopefully it won't be too long and too boring, but I would like to get that information out there. Okay. So I'm going to do a little bit of monologue and then I'm going to pass off to Mark. Mark, you can stick your head, see. And Mark, there you go. Mark, who's got his getting ready for Christmas, and and Jen, of course, who's helps lead our project, and Chris, who is everything IT and does many different things. So they're my friends today. And Jen, you got to lean your face in so you can say hi. See, she doesn't really like that, but yes, she is one of our friends. So the first thing that I want to just introduce here is again, once again, about training. Most of you have gone to Epic University and taken your basic Epic class, most of the time taught by an Epic trainer. Maybe some of you have used some video, but a number of us, roughly half, have logged out and said, all right, I'm done because I went to class. Well, actually, there, for most all of you, there's some additional work that you need to do, like a tutorial, example that you have to work through to make sure that you can take that basic information you learned and then actually apply it. It's almost like, you go to a driving class, they teach you the basic. Well, then you got to get out and actually do some scenarios actually before you get out on the freeway. Well, we want to make sure you're prepared before you go live November 1 and you got to do this while you're caring for patients. So you have to get back into Epic U. We'll show you how to do that here in a bit. And you should have flagged whatever's important for you to complete, which won't be as long as the original class, but you need to finish that. So we're just going to start with that one item. And I believe Chris or Jen is going to show you how to get into Epic U and take a look. So I need some validation that everybody can see this. So we're going to share screen. And let's see if we can make sure everybody can see what Jen is going to show. You ready, Jen? Yes. All right. So everyone can see. Is it good? Do we have anything on the chat? How do we know that people can see? Do you know?
You guys give us a thumbs up if you can see Epic U on the screen.
There's three here. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. All right, great. Thank you. All right, go for it, Jen.
Okay, everyone. So you're going to log into training.epic.com/end user training, and you should pop up to this screen.
Is that like an icon somewhere, or do you actually have to enter in all that?
You do. In the training rooms, it was an icon directly to Epic U, but for most computers, you have to just log into the internet.
So if I'm like a nurse, how am I going to remember that really long login and know how to get in?
We can resend out an email saying what.
Oh, to give us the link?
A link.
Great. So everybody's going to get a link to an email from an email so you can then click on it and not have to remember how to type all this in. Great, because that would be me. It's like, how the heck am I going to get in? All right. Okay.
So from here, you want to check your dashboard.
It's also on the internet.
Oh,
Thank you, Desmond.
Oh, great. So two ways, internet and you'll get an email.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, good.
So here is an example of someone who has not completed all of their training. So you want to look for these green check marks, right? That means they're completed. If not, you have to go in. So this module, 66% done. So you want to click in, and then you want to see what is left. So here this track has not been completed. So we're going to click on here, and then we're going to look at what still needs to be done. So this video here still needs to be watched, and it's required. You can see that this e-learning session is required. You also have to click down on show all e-learning trainings. And then from here, you can see what still needs to be done. So this was completed. This has not been completed.
So that would be how I would find out. Like I thought I got it all done. Well, this will tell me one, well, 66% is not all. And then you have to click through to find what it is that you missed.
Yes.
Okay.
So we can go back and it'll be the same thing. Let me give you an example of someone who has completed everything. You guys don't have access to this, but so this person, Kevin, good job. He has Thrive patient nurse manager stuff, but Thrive, and some people will have this education, but Thrive is post live, so they don't have to complete this until after we go live.
So how would I know that if I'm
So if you go here, it says what still needs to be completed. And if you click on here, it will tell you register section and it's not till November 21st.
Oh, but if I want to do it, I can, but it's not going to, it's not one of those pieces you really need to have before you go live November 1.
Correct.
All right. Okay. So am I correct in that different folks, whether they're managers or line staff, when they log on, they're going to have a mix of things that they need to take now and maybe some things after?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I,
Oh, yeah.
My comment is, why don't the videos play all sometimes you have to restart the whole computer to get them going again?
Mark, that sounds like a question for Mark. Oh,
we have been having some of the issues. We do report it to Epic. The videos are directly through Epic. So their recommendation and is that you restart it or you just take the URL and you repaste it into a new window browser. And it should play it for you there. But if you do have that issue, please put in a ticket because then we can report it to Epic and let them know that we're still continuing to have issues with that.
So if I'm line staff, how do you put in a ticket? Or is that just a topic for another day?
You can put in the Epic Help Desk ticket. That is located on everyone's desktop.
Oh, so there's an icon, it says Epic Help?
Correct.
All right. Good, because a lot of folks go, well, it doesn't work. And then it's like, well, what do I do about it? Okay. Hopefully they mostly work. I hope they work. Are there other things that you need to show us in Epic U regarding to completing your training before go live?
So as long as your dashboard looks all green like Kevin's, you're good to go.
Okay. So let's drop screen and then let's also double check that we've answered everybody's questions. Drop screen, 771.
We're going to switch back now.
Okay. All right. Questions from anyone? I mean, is this to troubleshoot on your own? You want to read those or can you?
Or so one was about the videos play. Sarah had commented, sometimes you have to go to YouTube and click on the station that you're using on for work. That's the corporate message that pops up asking or reminding you that this is for work. You have to click OK before you can get to YouTube. And sometimes you have to do that again on the machine that you're on before you can get to the videos. Then if you refresh your video window, it should be okay.
It actually said Edge works better.
Yes. So most of this originally, you were in a classroom, it was all set up, and you had people to help you, right? So we're asking folks to get back in, get your email, click on the link, go to the internet, click on the link, and if I click on this generic link, will it take me to my training or do I have to put something in that says, hey, I'm me, and so it pulls up the training that I have to do?
No, if you put in the link and you use your username and password, it will bring up your
Oh, okay. So that's how it knows it's me, is because I had to log in the first place. My universal login will be my identifier.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, I know that's a little extra work for folks. Everyone else who is still doing training will we'll tie you to the chair in your training room until you complete everything. But we are learning as we go through this. First time and maybe the only time we go live with another EMR. We basically are having to figure out some things and kind of come back and circle back around and finish some stuff up. So appreciate your understanding on that, but we need you to get this done before we go live November 1, right? So the second thing we want to talk about is how we make sure that you get the right access for your role when we go live. So there's this thing called Epic SUP, but I was like, what is that? Stand-up paddleboard? It's not. It's Epic SUP, but it is basically where you go in and confirm that you can log on and your access will be, for example, if you're a nurse, you'll get nursing access with all the privileges that you can do with nursing, or if you're an RT, or if you're a housekeeper or an administrator or whatnot, it knows you, and everything in the system is built around your accesses. And that then you have to, of course, identify and confirm you are who you are. Okay. So that's another one of those steps that are within the training, but a lot of people, and we take some ownership here. We didn't make it crystal clear that you had to do that then, but you need to do it before November 1, or you may log in and the system thinks that you work in behavioral health when you work in ICU, and your permissions are very different, and you're going, what the heck? I can't do my job. Okay. So, Jen, you're going to demonstrate, or Chris?
Yeah, I will do a quick demo. Hopefully it kept stuff up. It should be there, Mark. Okay. And Mark's gonna share screen here, or you're already sharing. Perfect. So this is the login lab that you talked about before you left training. Some of you left without doing the login lab, which was verifying your access in SUP, which was just logging in, and you will hit this page. And on this page, what you really want to see is, and this is my access, who am I? So my name is correct. And then the E column, which is the available jobs in Epic. So I, of course, don't have nursing roles. I have more clinical view only roles. So these are appropriate for me. So I can validate that. There was a separate worksheet if you completed this during training. It was a Microsoft worksheet that it was about 9 pages that you filled in. If you left training without filling in that worksheet, we assigned you a Health Academy module. So you can complete the Health Academy module on your own and make sure that you have the correct access. At the end of the day, if you don't do any of that, what we're asking you to do is to log into SUP. Does everybody have the Epic storefront? And that can be found in the Epic storefront. Mark's going to take us there right now. Yeah, it's in the ocean here. So if you log into the Epic storefront, you're going to scroll down and look for an environment called, you can scroll down, Mark. Okay. Oh, that's fine. It's that SUP Hyperdrive. Up one. Log into there, put in your credentials. You'll be presented with that screen. Look on that screen and make sure your access is correct.
Is there a way for us to also do an email and with a link and put an icon? Because this multi-step, some of you are very savvy and would do that very quickly. And I would be calling someone like, where is this thing? So having a link would be amazing.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. So expect 2 different links. 1 to update your training and make sure you've gotten it all done. And then 2, we'll also make it where it's easy for you to go to the login and confirm your permissions and who you are, like your profession, your role. So let's get that done. So again, this is not only to help us, it's also to help you when you go and use this thing on November 1. You want the stuff to all work. It'll make for a better day for you and our patients. Okay. So great. Any questions we have there? All right, good. All right. And then there's the third thing. So one of the things when we first went to Epic, we had to make a decision as to where we're going to keep all this information. And this may be a little geeky, but I think most of you are, we've come a long way with all the AI and computing and the internet, and most of you are aware that so much stuff these days are on the cloud. Well, with our Meditech system, we actually have where we keep all that data, and we have servers on site that basically keep the program running and support the EMR. That's pretty much an old school way of doing it. And it's one of the reasons we did initially is just made the system faster. But these days with hackers and cybersecurity and all this other stuff, and plus just so much more data, almost everyone now supports their programs in the cloud. So you guys have heard of cloud-based services. We basically store our Epic in a data center, which not only is one data center, it's backed up in another location far away where it's duplicated and it's safer. Plus, there's a whole bunch of firewalls and protections that honestly we would struggle to do ourselves. If we did it on site, it'd be very expensive. Not that it's cheap to put it in the cloud, but still, it's a better way to do it. So you're going, where am I going with all this? The point of it is that our concern was it would make it too slow because that information has to leave here, go to the data center, and come back. It's constantly going back and forth. Now, it usually goes like speed of light fast, but there are always these little barriers in between. So what we did to make sure that you don't have a slow system, even though we're on an island, we put in a kind of an intermediary called Citrix. And what it does, without getting into all the geek terminology, no offense, Mark, is that it allows, once you are in the system, it speeds things up. So when you go from computer to computer or you are clicking between screens, it's faster than what you experience today with Meditech. But like everything else, there's a trade-off. When you first log in, Citrix has to set itself up for you to enable you to do all that stuff fast. And it takes somewhere between 30 and 45 seconds to load. So when you reboot your phone now, it takes, you reboot, it goes black, and it's up in like 5 or 10 seconds. Well, it's going to be 30 to 45 seconds when you log into a computer that can do pretty much everything, right? If you can plan for that and you know it, I don't think it's going to affect care. You only have to do it once for that day until you log out. If you log out, well, you got to do it again. And when you work during the course of the day, it should be, again, quicker. So you'll end up in a better place overall than you are to start. But I wanted to make sure everyone knew so we didn't get a million calls going, why does it take so long? Is the system broken? I can't log on. It's going to take you longer, okay? Doesn't mean it's broken, all right? So there's one other piece also to understand is once you log on, well, let me back up for a second. If you log onto a computer that lets you do pretty much everything that you can do on a workplace computer, like check your email, go on the internet, and so forth, that session will take you, when you log on, that 30 to 45. But all those computers that are just for patient care, that are in ER rooms, that are hanging on the walls, that are in clinic offices, those you can use your tap and go, and you don't have to log in on those. You can just tap from computer to computer to computer. They are not affected by that login, okay? All of this after a while will be just how it is, but I'm communicating this so everybody will have a reasonable expectation and know what to expect when we go live on November 1. Okay. Mark was going to log in and show you that, but we're just going to leave that to your imagination. Okay. So I'll stop there. Are there questions or anything? Do you have a count? How many people are on? Can you tell?
217, I think.
266.
Yeah, we usually get around 3. So if you guys could just help and kind of pass around the word, we'll try to encourage people to take a look at this because I think most of you will want this information. It is useful for what's going to happen November 1. We had a question there or a comment. Can you read that for us, Mark?
Yes, Matthews, is it Sarah? When I checked in SUP, shows department East Hawaii Health Pharmacy, which is not my department. When I erase it and write clinic manager, I get the message, no matching records found.
So this would be a good way to put in a ticket.
Yeah. So that would be a case where you'd want to use the new Epic Help link.
I'm going to share screen.
I'll share the screen.
So thanks for sharing that, Sarah, because that is absolutely why we want to check this now versus if you did that on Monday or Sunday, when we go live and you're going like, well, this isn't me. Well, now you've got patience and work to do. If we do it now, we can get it correct. So I mean, it's a great example of why you need to double check.
Did everybody see that Epic Help icon? Just making sure. So if you double click the Epic Help icon that's been put on all of our desktops, it'll launch this new support page. And we put the most common items up top so you can easily get to them. And then you would enter your ticket after that.
This one right.
Yeah, that one right there.
All right, so I would click on that icon and then there's once it's up. Oh, okay. No, so so the most common problems I can click there versus having to type a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So how would I know that I'm going to get a response back? I mean, what do they do? Come find me, or how does that work?
So if you are putting in the ticket as yourself, it will automatically enter your information at the top. So if you see where it says Jewel right now, because Jewel is logged into the computer. So that's what I would suggest, being logged into the computer to put in your own help desk ticket. If not, you can just enter your information and your phone contact number, and somebody will give you a call. Like the Haley and Blake are the two that are managing most of these tickets right now for our access.
Okay, good. Excellent. Let's see. So the only thing I have left, it's not a small thing, is just to thank everyone. The amount of work that everyone's doing is enormous and it's appreciated. Chris and Jen and our other Chris, the whole Health Connect team, our Epic partners, putting in a whole lot of hours, a lot of new faces around here to make sure that this goes well. And then all of you who've worked with the conversions that we did this past weekend, the referrals, the chasing accounts. I mean, everybody is stretched out with this, and want to convey my appreciation. And even though the patients don't know it, I'm sure that they would be appreciative because they're going to get a better hospital out of this whole deal. You know, I was just thinking when I was looking out the window today, and we had huge buildings going up, and you can see that very tangibly, but all of you are working on something just as important. You're working on kind of a virtual expansion here. And the cool thing about it is rather than having a company build it, we're building it ourselves. And I think you should feel very proud of that. So let's get a good job. Let's do a good job and make sure that this goes great here November 1. And we'll probably meet up again virtually here next week. So thank you, everybody.